Oh my gosh, I think it's working. Let's check though. Let's go to the YouTube and make sure that we're actually live before we dig into this. Are we streaming? We are. Hang on. I probably shouldn't have duplicate audio on, but we are live, which is exciting. I have a new dashboard, you guys. It's very complex. Here, there are a lot of buttons going on. But it does have some really cool capabilities. So, you know, we're going to try out one of them today. I'm going to actually show a video behind me, which is wild. It may work, it may not. Who knows? But, if we have complicated technology, we should definitely make use of it. So, shout out to OBS who made some amazing streaming software that allows me to do what I want it to do. Um, so artists are, people who can do hard things and will figure things out, and that's me. So here we are today with a virtual slide background. Um, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works. Happy week 4 of March, everybody. We are going to talk about what the kids are learning in classes this week and what's going on. We have so much to talk about. There's a lot going on. I know for my parents out there, I know you feel that too. It's not just a lot going on here at the Orange Easel Art Studio. There's a lot going on everywhere at the end of the school year, and we are here, you guys. So if you have questions because you're just overwhelmed with information and you can't find it, reach out to me and I'll do my very, very best to get you the information as well as point you to where that information is found. If you ever message me and ask a question and I not only give you the answer, but tell you where you can find that information, that is just the teacher in me, like being like, and then also for next time, here's where you go. It is not because I'm trying to like make you feel bad or anything. It's just teaching you where that information is because with 400 students and parents, I just take every opportunity I can to kind of show you maybe what you don't know. And so I've had people message me and ask questions that have been answered in a video like this or in our cliff notes on the emails. And I've said, sorry, I'm distracted because it says I have a chat and I don't know where to go find that. But I'm gonna go do that in just a second after I finish this thought. But I've said, do you get my weekly emails? In addition to answering their question, I've asked to make sure they've gotten the emails. And I don't do that to make you feel bad. I do that because for some people they're like, what weekly emails? And they don't even know that they're missing them because they've always gone to junk and they don't know to look for them. So I do take the opportunity um, to do that. So give me a second. I'm going to flip to the YouTube um, because I want to make sure, like, I'm pretty sure I just said, like, you have a comment. And I'm like, I do. Do I? How do I even get to this? Um, Dashboard, your channel. Go to YouTube. I don't want to go on my phone because then my head is down and people don't know. But it says I have, let's see. Nope, there's no chat. It says one person watching now. I'm just going to go back to the dashboard. We'll figure it out later. All right, you guys are so patient with me. So it is week 4 of March, you guys, and it's spring break week excuse me. I'm still recovering from whatever allergies or stuff. Um, it is spring break week for most of our kids, and I've had a few messages, do we have class? And it really depends on the class that you're in. So if you are in a preschool class or a creative exploration class, those are the 2 types of classes here at the studio that only meet 3 times a month. So because of that, we're able to take off spring break, which is great because then nobody misses class. Drink coffee, Allison. Breathe. It only gets really bad, you guys, when I talk a lot, which is often. If you are in a drawing class or a multimedia class, you have class this week. Now, if you missed that class, it's okay. We got plans for that. Like, we know that we're going to be lighter on attendance. So we plan our curriculum in such a way that there's no stress in the springtime because nobody needs stress in the springtime, okay? So if you are in a drawing class or a multimedia class, the answer is yes, you have class this week. But if you are unable to make it, please don't worry, okay? No stress. As a reminder, again, just the teacher in me, you can always find your class schedule. So places you can get this information is obviously in the weekly videos. If you're just kind of a person that wants to be told every week whether or not you have class, I will do that for you. If you are a planner like me and you're like, I would like to know ahead of time, Allison, what days I have class, there are a couple places you can find that. The first is when you actually sign up on the registration. There it says, like dates, and you click it and it opens a calendar and it'll tell you what dates are on and what days are off. And you can, when you register, put those dates in your calendar. After the fact, after you've registered, it's a little bit more difficult to find that. But you actually have a calendar populated for your family in your Sawyer account. So Sawyer is the third-party registration software that we use. And you can log into your Sawyer account and it'll show you a calendar of all of your classes for all of your children. And it'll just, and if you like signed up for spring break camp, it'll show up on there. If you signed up for all of your summer stuff, it'll be on there. And you can actually take that calendar if you want, and you can like do magical things that make it go to your iCalendar or to your Google Calendar. So it can be integrated. I haven't tried that, but I've seen the buttons. So anyways, all that information is there for you to find it. If you don't know, like, how do I get into my Sawyer account, Allison? Go to the for current students webpage, which is on our website. It's always like bookmarked in the quick links on the footer. Just scroll down and find it, and their instructions are there. Okay. All right. Let's see if the hotkeys work. Ready? Here's our next slide. Let's talk about all these things. So preschool classes, none this week, right? Because we wrapped our March lessons, and I'm gonna back up a minute because I feel like I'm too big for the screen. We wrapped our March lessons, and so it is just like kind of like our dead time, right? For our Monday people, you're actually gonna have 2 weeks off because there are 5 Mondays in the month of March. So you're going to have this Monday, which is today, and then you're going to have next Monday off, and then your classes are going to start in April. Tuesday, April 1st is when the April curriculum starts. Let me look at my notes really quick. In April, we're going to look at fiber arts because that's what the multimedia kids are doing. So a lot of fabric, fiber, sewing, weaving, that kind of stuff. We also start to incorporate a lot of nature items into our art, and the stories are very nature themed. They're some of my favorites. Like the stories aren't necessarily my favorites. We actually switched some books this year, so you'll see some new books. But the projects didn't really change. But this is the month for those who've been around a while that we like use a lot of fresh flowers. We make perfumes out of flowers and fruits, and things that smell. Trying to use all of our senses. I'm trying to think. We pound flowers and make prints. So a lot of nature stuff. Last week we read The Rock from the Sky by John Clausen, which is near and dear. And I just adore it. Sarah adores it. We have just a ball with all of the books. Sarah told me that if she had her way, we would only read John Clausen and Mac Barnett books. Um, so, so if anybody needs that book recommendation, let me know. It's a great one. We read Rock from the Sky, and we did like shaving cream marbling, and then made some mixed media collages to wrap up our mixed media month. This is the shaving cream picture over here. All right, let's move on. So our multimedia classes, we're going to kind of run through. I didn't bring any show and tell items for you this morning because the technology was enough, but I did put some cool pictures, and we are going to look at a video. So it is our K-3 classes, and they are making these birds. And these are two pictures from Flatwoods that I thought really illustrated how different the birds are. I want you to notice just the scale of these birds, right? So we've got one that's like 24 by 30, and then we have one that's like maybe 4 by 6, right? There was a lot of discrepancies in sizes. There was a lot of discrepancies in patterns and colors. It was completely designed by the artist, and we had a ball making these. Most of the birds have a backstory. They have a name. They have like a whole life story. It's amazing. I have a couple pictures to show you. I don't remember how many, so we're just going to click through. Aren't those fun? Oh, wait, go back. This cool. Like I just click a button. I set up hotkeys and I can just click a button. But aren't these are amazing, you guys? We love this bird project. So Just a little bit about kind of the multimedia classes. I'm going to talk K-thirds, and then we'll go through each section. Most of the K-thirds took their birds home. Like they're done with the project, but we're only in week 3 of March. Okay. If you didn't take your bird home last week and you're coming to class this week, we'll finish it this week. It's fine. No big deal. You're not behind. A lot of people finished because we knew we were going to have a lot of absences. In the week 4, so in this coming week, when you come to class, we're going to set up stations and they can make mixed media projects and explore those stations. So they want to make little baby birds, they can. They want to make a nest, they can. They want to make more birds, they can. They want to make something other than a bird, also okay. But the supplies are going to be out for them to be able to play with and explore and make whatever they'd like in that hour time. In addition to doing that, we are also going to be doing art show submissions with our kids. Now, I want to be clear in the multimedia classes, especially, this bird project doesn't need to be your art show piece. So this isn't the type of studio where it's like, this class is all doing this project for the show, and this class is all doing this project for the show. What the kids put in the show, if they put it in the show, is completely up to them. So we're going to be doing submissions, but that doesn't mean it's the birds. You bring your stuff to the studio and we'll help you do submissions if you want. If you're like, I don't know what we're putting in the show yet, I haven't had a chance to talk to my kid, they haven't decided yet, then don't bring anything. It's fine. You have until April 11th. There's no rush. It doesn't need to be done this week. But if you would like it to be done during class, this is the week to do it. You don't need to do it during class. We've never done it in class before. This was just something we thought, you know what? Spring break week is kind of crazy anyway, and we're always a little bit light, and the projects are usually done. Heck, let's do it in class and see if we can help the parents out. That's what happened. Okay. All right. So if you want help with art show submissions, you can bring it to your class this week, especially K-thirds, because your projects are probably done. Okay. That's a lot of information. If you would like, I don't understand, Allison, just send me a message. Okay. All right, let's move on to our 4th and 5th. Fewer of our 4th and 5th graders finished. So whereas like 80-90% of the birds projects are done, we're probably about 50% on the collages. These 2 are done, and there's another slide I'm going to show you. I wanted to show how amazing these look in the black light. So this project was like 2 parts. They had to make their painted papers, and then they had to create their compositions and make the collage. So they actually painted the papers that they used for the collages first, and we used a UV reactive paint for that, so it glows under the black light. How amazing are these? So these are some Liberty kiddos that we had set up kind of a glow area of the classroom that was not completely blacked out because I wanted to see their faces too. So this is them standing with their projects in the black light. Here's another version of that. And they are all so different, you guys, in terms of like what they chose to focus on. Right here is a very like micro, right, where we're zoomed in on an element of the jungle, whereas the bottom one here is more like macro or like zoomed out. I don't know. All right. Aren't those cool? So with my 4th and 5th grade artists, the same thing applies for multimedia classes. If you are not done with your project, you're going to finish your project in week 4. We're going to get it matted. We're going to get it with an artist statement, and you're going to take it home just like every other month. If you're done with it, or when you finish it, all the multimedia, like mixed media stations are going to be out, and you can create. You can create another glowing collage. You can create a cardboard bird, right? You can create like whatever you want using the mixed media supplies, which is really the entire craft closet. So what a great month, right? I have to pause and drink some coffee, just that. In addition to finishing the projects and exploring stations, we will also have time for our instructors or our administrator for the evening helping with art show submissions. And we're going to talk more about what the submission process looks like in housekeeping. For those of you that are like, I don't know if I want to do it in class, Allison, maybe I just want to help my kids do it on our own. And that's fine too, because you can totally do that. You don't need us. We just thought we'd help. So again, they need to bring their artwork with them that they're going to submit for the show. If they know what it's going to be, it doesn't have to be this project. For most people, it won't. It'll be something they made earlier in the year. Maybe it was something they made at school. Maybe it was something they made on their own. Anything in the last year that they're super proud of and they would like to exhibit. Bring it with you to class, and we will help you get a submission form filled out and get it put in the kind of the box and safely tagged and all that stuff. Okay. Again, if you don't know because you haven't had time and you haven't had a chance to talk to your kid because you're like ships passing in the night, because that's what it's like in my house, you have until April 11th. Doesn't have to be this week. All right, here we go. Our multimedia kids. So 6th, 7th, and 8th, 12th are making these amazing like graffiti style tag arts. Again, 2-step process. Use a little bit of lettering skills as well as some printing and painting skills to create this dimensional artwork. So these are really big. These are poster size. Like again, we're like at like 50% finished and like 50% didn't. So if you're in class this week, we'll finish it. If you already finish it, you're going to do what the other classes had, and we've got all these stations out. You make whatever you want. And then bring your stuff with you that you would like to submit to the art show, and we'll help you get it submitted if you want. Not required, just if you want. And if you miss it because you're like, I don't have it figured out yet this week, that's okay. We have until the 11th, but today's the first day. Okay? Hey, I'm going to double check my notes because I feel like that was really short and maybe I forgot something. All right. For all of my multimedia people, if you didn't finish your artwork and you're going to miss class this week, sign up for a makeup session so that we can get your project done. If you've already taken home your bird, your jungle collage, or your graffiti style tag art, and you're going to miss class this week, there is nothing that you need to make up. If you would like to sign up for a makeup session and come and just make mixed media art, we will set up stations for you. We will also do your art show submissions in a makeup session. Okay? But you don't have to. Okay? So don't have it be one more thing on your plate that you're stressed out about. Okay? Just know, if the project is done and you miss class, all right, I'm going to double check because it said my OBS studio is disconnected and it's reconnecting. Oh, there it says reconnection successful. Crazy. All right, here we go. Drawing, right? Boom. Oh, wait, no, creative explorations. Not a lot to say. No class this week, guys. None. Okay. My creative explorations classes will start back up next week. It'll be on Wednesday, April 3rd, and Friday, April 5th will be your first classes. We'll have stations that deal with, again, nature art, fiber arts, the art of Claude Monet, good stuff. So these guys here, because of the nature of your class, you can always bring art show submissions. First 2 weeks of April, you can bring them and we'll help you. It's just the nature of that class is more freeform anyway and more station based. So it is totally within our power to help you with art show submissions if you want. If you don't, if you want to do it on your own at home and just drop the artwork off, you can do that too. Okay. All right. Drawing classes. This is the last time that we'll have a single slide for drawing classes. Next week we'll go, next week we'll go back to lessons where every class is doing something different and has a different lesson. And I can talk about every single one. But right now, we're going to lump them all together into all the drawing classes, right? So if you're in Drawing 101, Drawing 102, or Drawing 103, all the drawing classes are working on a showcase piece this month. For a lot of our kids, they will finish this week, but they need this week to finish. They worked so hard on their drawings, you guys. I am so proud of all of them. We always tell the drawing, they're always like, what's the hardest category to score a ribbon in the art show? And I'm always like, it's drawing. It's always drawing because we have such talented drawers. So amazing art that they're coming up with. For a lot of them, the art that they worked on this month in class will be the piece that they enter for the show. And that's what we've told them. Like, this is your showcase piece. But if you have something else you want to put in, you can put something else in. It's okay. We're still going to make a showcase piece in class. So for a lot of them, what they worked on in class this month will go into the art show. Their decision. Totally up to them. If not, then they can submit anything else that they want. They can take their piece home that they worked on it all month long, they can just take it home, just like the multimedia kids do. All right. So totally up to them, and we'll talk to them more about that in terms of what they decide. We're going to help them in class this week get their pieces submitted. More than the multimedia kids, the drawing kids will need help because they haven't filled out artist statements and gallery tags every single month, like the multimedia kids have, right? Every month, the multimedia kids finish their project and we're like, here, go do your artist statement. Here, fill out your gallery tag. So this is a little bit more familiar with them. For the drawing kids, it's all lesson based. So this is, for a lot of them, the first time they've done this. So we will help them with that submission, assuming that we have their artwork, like the piece that they've been working on is what they want to submit. If they want to submit something else, just like our other kids, bring it to class with you and we'll help them with that. And honestly, again, just because of the nature of drawing classes, if they want to do that later in April, sometime before the deadline, like in week 1 or week 2 of April, we can also help them in class. It's not a big deal. There's always downtime. There's always work time that the teacher can help them submit something. Okay. All right. Here we go. Housekeeping. Art show submissions begin today. So in both studios, there should be a box. There is not yet in Liberty because I just got here. But there will be. I know where it is. It's in the closet. It's the same box as last year. There will be a box sitting right inside the door or in the lobby somewhere. There will be signage up that says, what you need to do to submit it. Here's the deal. Don't just drop off your art. Okay. There are 2 steps. You're going to fill out an online form and then you're going to drop your artwork off. Do not just bring the artwork and be like, I'll do the form later, because you need the artwork in order to fill out the form. Okay. So, I got an error message here, so I'm going to see what's going on. YouTube Creator Studio says YouTube is not something, but well, it says it's working. So our artwork, you need it to fill out the form, was what I was saying. We had that a few times last year where there were some issues that people thought they could just drop off the artwork and then sometime before the 11th fill out the form. And then they opened up the form and they were like, oh crap, I need the artwork for this. Like, I need to be able to write the dimensions of it. I need to be able to, I need my kid because they have to write a title. They have to write an artist statement. So this is something that if parents are going to do it, they need to do it together with their kids, because it's not just a matter of just dropping an artwork off and we slap a name on it. There's information that we need from them. The other thing that the reason you need your artwork is the form has you upload a photo of the artwork. That way we can match up artwork with submission form in case there's any questions. Okay. All right. Let me see something. So I'm going to show you the webpage. That's the video part, I think, in a minute, assuming everything works. But really quick, the deadline is April 11th. Okay. So this week in classes, you can bring the artwork if you want us to help you. Alternatively, if you want to sign up for a makeup session, we have time on Wednesdays in Liberty and Fridays in Flatwoods. You can fill out the makeup form, even if you don't miss a class, and tell us you're coming in to do art show submissions. It'll take us 10-15 minutes, and we will help your kid submit their artwork. Okay. Let's see if I can show you my video. You want to see? Let's see. So I'm going to hide my slideshow. And I'm going to put on my video. Look at this. So if you go to the webpage, I don't know if you know this, but there's a search bar at the top. You can type in art show. You can also link it from this email. It's going to bring up the art show page that has a ton of information on it, right? Here's the submission form, and you'll fill it out. At the top of the form, it says this is what you will need to fill it out. And it's the title of the artwork, a description of the artwork, a list of the media used, the artist statement, dimensions of the artwork, the category that you want it to be judged in, excuse me, and a photo. So until you have that or feel confident with it, don't start the form because it'll just frustrate you. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? hopefully. All right, we're going to go ahead and hide that again. We'll go back to the slideshow. All right. So anyways, so that's information on art show submissions. Let's move along. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Hide slideshow. Put that. All right. The next thing I have to tell you, junior staff applications are open. So this is our teen staff that help us out in the summer. Anybody that's looking for some volunteer hours or first job work experience, this is a great time to come and do it. It's also good for my older kids. They get to come to camps and experience camp, but in a leadership role. So for your kids that feel just a little too old for camp, this is a great way for them to still be a part of it, but just in a different role, right? So that is open, and interviews are happening the week of April 14th. So for those of you who have filled out an application, unless your application came in over the weekend, you already got an email from me that was like, we got it. So interview signups will go out this week. Sarah and I were just finalizing dates and times, but we got that done, and so we'll get that out to you this week. I'm talking too much, you guys. Talking too much. All right. So look for that. And then next. This is just a note, you guys, because I've had some people ask me, how do I sign up for the summer session? For those of you who are new here, the weekly classes don't meet in the summertime. So that multimedia class that you're in right now, that drawing class that you're in right now, it ends in May. And then the next semester starts in September. So June, July, and August, there are no classes. If you want to come to the studio, it's camps for most of our kids. There are also some evening classes in June and a few mini camps for people in June. So there are no weekly classes. So if you're like, I don't need to sign up for camp because we're going to do the drawing class, I apologize for the confusion. There is no drawing class. We'll be back in September. So it's just the summer programming. So go out and look at that. Pick out what you want to do. It's very a la carte. So you just kind of pick and choose what you want. Things are filling up, so don't wait too long. I think the camps are like 90% full, you guys. There's only like a handful of spots left. If you but if you're planning on doing the evening classes, you gotta it's like 50%. Okay. All right, and then this is the last note. It'll be in next week's video. Next week is Monday the 31st, so I want to catch people now. There are no classes. Zero classes on Monday the 31st. It's the 5th Monday of the month. We haven't had a 5th like this since October. So I want to remember everybody. There were 5 Tuesdays in January or something. There were 5 something in January, but it didn't matter because it was over Christmas break and nobody knew what day it was anyway. So you didn't notice. Last time this happened was October. It usually happens in October. There are 5 Mondays in March. There are no classes on Monday, March 31st. So if you are a Monday student, drawing, multimedia, preschool, doesn't matter. You do not have class next week. Take a day off. We'll see you in April. Okay. If you have questions on that, let me know. All right. So I think that's it for me. That's a lot of information. You guys were a trooper. Hopefully the video worked out all as well. If you need anything from me, I'm here at the Liberty Studio all week long. So, if you need last minute stuff to do this week, spring break camps are still open, I think. It's a few spots. Tuesdays tomorrow in Flatwoods or